Hi everyone, and welcome to my channel, Basement Dweller Pip. I'm Pip, and today we're in a special zone. We are in the gamer zone. This is for gamers only. We will not be discussing figures because this is the gamer zone. No figures today. Yeah, so today I'm going to be talking about games that I've been playing lately. But before we get into that, I do want to quickly say a quick thank you to everyone that watches my videos. We hit a really big milestone recently, and that milestone is, of course, 420 subscribers. And then after that we hit a not as big milestone, we hit 500, but regardless of all that, thank you all so much. That's insane to me, and do want to point out that we are now halfway to the foot reveal that I promised at 1K in my second video, so look forward to that. But yeah, as I was saying, I'm going to be talking about games that I've been playing lately. At the moment, and I don't normally do this, I am playing 4 games, and I haven't beaten a single game in 2022 yet. Probably because I'm playing 4 fucking games at the same time. But yeah, normally I don't do that. Normally I do go through like a game, just one game. I don't have to play multiple games at once. It's just that lately I've been getting like very burnt out of different genres, so I feel that having a bunch of different games that are a little bit different that I can jump in between has been helping me get through them. But I still haven't gotten through them yet, so... Anyway, up first I'm going to be talking about Scarlet Nexus by Bandai Namco. So the main focus of Scarlet Nexus is its combat, which focuses greatly on, I guess, like psychic abilities. So you play as Yuito or Kasane, both who have psychokinesis, right? That's the one where you can like lift things with your mind, whatever, they have that one. And as you play further into the game, you come across characters that all have their own powers, and you can work with them to, like, you can absorb their powers kind of, so you can have like 2 or 3 powers at the same time. It's really cool. You can have like pyrokinesis, and you can also have your regular psychokinesis. It's pretty sick in that sense. In that sense, it's a lot like Genshin, I guess, in the combat, where you can use like different elements at the same time and have them react with one another. And you can also get like certain enemies' weaknesses that way. So I personally have been really enjoying this game. You can either start off the story as Yuito and go through his story, or you can start off as Kasane and go through her story. I decided to go with Yuito first because originally my boyfriend wanted to play this game, and he goes, "Oh, I'll play as Yuito, you watch me, you play Kasane, and I'll watch you." But then he didn't end up playing it, so I'm in complete control of this game now. At the time of filming, I have beaten Yuito's story, and I'm starting Kasane's. So I'm about like 20 hours into the game, which is insane because I picked this up not too far after its launch. And while I have, why am I holding this? And while I have been really greatly enjoying it, I don't think I've ever had a game that I've like dropped so much and then picked up so much later. Like, I think I've gone like 4 months without playing this or even touching it. And I'm not entirely sure why that is. I think it's partially the story. I think the story, while it's mostly interesting, is a bit all over the place. Like, maybe it's just because I'm playing Yuito's story first. I heard that the story is a lot better if you start off with Kasane's route because you get like a different perspective on what's going on, whereas when you play as Yuito, her actions, just, like whatever she does in Yuito's like line, just doesn't make sense. But the story tends to revolve around Kasane more than Yuito anyway, which is really interesting considering they're both protagonists. But from what I've seen so far, Kasane is more like closely entangled with the main story than Yuito. Yuito is more of like, I wouldn't say a side character, but he's almost like less of a protagonist than Kasane. It's a bit weird. That being said, this game. This is the first game I have ever put on easy, just because the combat, while it's very fun most of the time, when it's not working, it's not good. In my opinion anyway. So I was getting really frustrated with it, especially near the end of Yuito's story, so I was just like, I just wanted to get through it. I just wanted the combat to feel good. I just wanted to feel like I was kicking alien monster ass, and I just wanted to get through it. So I put it on easy, and I've never done that before. But whatever, I guess. I think my biggest gripe with the game is that you have to dodge a lot in the game, but it seems like every enemy that you encounter is just like ready to take away your ability to dodge. Like there's these giant like faucet aliens. That's really weird to say. And then there's like these other like oily aliens. Doesn't sound good when I put it that way. But yeah, there's these like different types of aliens where if they like get you wet, you can't dodge anymore. So if they do a move where it like rains on you and you're wet now, you can't dodge. Which I didn't know this was the case. I didn't know that if I was out jogging in the rain, because I don't jog, obviously. I didn't know that if I was jogging out in the rain, I just suddenly wouldn't be able to run anymore. But yeah, it's really frustrating because you like really need to be able to dodge in this game, otherwise every attack that an enemy does on you is gonna hit you. But apart from that, visually it's a great game. I love the action feeling of it. So psychokinesis is probably the best power that they could have picked for the main characters compared to all the other powers that they have available in the game. Just because I find that with the combat, with being able to throw your swords, throw different items that are just like in the area, so it's super satisfying when you take someone's like pyro abilities and then you hit them with that, they're on fire, and then you just ram them in with a truck. So in that aspect, it's very flashy, it's very cool. The combat, again, when it works, feels fantastic, but when it doesn't work, really sucks, honestly. Like, it's just the most frustrating thing. I don't know if that's just because of the mindset that I'm in at the moment with games, but I just wanted to feel cool in this game. Especially with the combat being like the main focus of the game, it really sucked that like I felt like I couldn't play. But maybe I'm just bad at games, who knows. Alright, so for the next game, I have Tales of Arise. This is also another game I picked up on release and haven't finished it yet, though I am like 40 hours into the game though, so I'm almost there. I'm not as embarrassed about this one. Tales of Arise. This is my first time playing any of the Tales of games, and Tales of Arise so far I think has been a good introduction to the series. Not that I know anything about any of the other games, but from what I've heard, like people tend to really, really like this one, so I think I'm good. I think I'm introduced officially to the Tales of series, right? But I've been really thoroughly enjoying it. Personally, I think it's one of the best looking games on the Switch, if not the Switch, on the PS5, if not the best looking game on the PS5. That's like the first thing I want to talk about, because this game is so pretty. The environments are gorgeous. The like lush green area, that one's my favorite area because I just think that they did such a good job with like the vegetation and the animals and the water. Oh my god, it looks, swimming in this game looks so good. It just makes me want to swim so badly. So Tales of Arise is another action JRPG similar to Scarlet Nexus, but unlike Scarlet Nexus, it does have a little bit more of a focus on exploration and side quests and whatnot. There is a big focus on the combat, which I'm going to get to in just a moment, but I do like a game where I can have like the openness to explore an area a bit more, especially with how, again, like I said, how beautiful these worlds are. Like, I want to run around them and explore them. They look so nice. Now going on to the combat's a lot of fun. You have, how many characters? 6 characters that you can switch between, and they all play very differently. Though for the most part, so my issue with the game is that I don't know if I'm just bad at games. I don't know if my 20 years of training in gaming has just been for nothing, but I have such a hard time leveling up in Tales of Arise, and I don't know why. Because you can cook and like make these meals that give you like a bunch more experience after a battle, or you can get like more defense or whatever, but I always go for the experience one because I can never level up. And yet somehow I feel like I've never high enough of a level. I'll go through an entire dungeon, I'll defeat an entire boss, and yet most of my characters won't go up a single level. Like, am I stupid? Am I bad at games? And then because of that, because I always feel so underleveled against a boss, while the combat's fantastic, I spend all of the time fighting just healing characters. Like, I'm constantly like having to go through my inventory and like pick items so I can heal characters and keep them alive, and yet and I feel like I'm not experiencing the game properly. I don't know, am I just bad at games? Because like between this one and Scarlet Nexus, both of them made by Bandai Namco, by the way. I don't know if Bandai Namco is just out to get me, but I feel so dumb when I play these. Every time I get into one of these games, or not every time, but a lot of the times when I get into these games, I'm just like, I don't know how to level up. Like, what's wrong with me? Granted, I'm saying all this like, oh, maybe it's the game's fault, like maybe it's too hard, which I have heard that's a bit harder than the normal Tales of Arise games, but I don't know, I don't have anything to compare it to. This is my first Tales of game. But the game does have microtransactions, and you can pay like, I think it's like 10 Canadian dollars, something like that, to go up in level, and then also make money. You can pay to go up in level, and then you can also pay to have like a bunch of money, which making money is also really hard in this game. So I don't know if that's a coincidence. I don't know if they made it hard to level up and get money in this game specifically so that you could be tempted to like buy these level up packs and gold packs, but it's just like really unfortunate, because otherwise the game is fantastic. The combat's super engaging, the characters are great, the story is very wild. Honestly, not the turn I expected it to take, but I'm enjoying it so far. My only gripe with the story is that the major like plot twist events, unless I've just been missing it, or I haven't played it twice yet, I feel like there's no foreshadowing to them. Again, this is my first playthrough, so for all I know I could play this through again and there could be, but I do like a game where you can go back to the beginning of the game, you can be like, holy shit, they told us all along that Hootle was gonna be the final boss. Holy shit, we knew it. They told us. Actually, on the topic of Hootle, fantastic character. Exquisite character. Literally everything I could want in a character. Just a bird. That being said, in the game, you can also find different, like, owlets, I think they're called. Just the owls, essentially, in the overworld. They're kind of like a collectathon. It's a collectathon. You find all the owls, but I swear to God, some of these owls are just a whole ass dude just going hoo hoo.
Hoo 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 hoo. Hoo 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 hoo.
Like, they didn't even bother to get owl sounds. They just found some dude and were like, hey, we need you to just sit in front of a mic and go hoo hoo. Like, it's just a whole ass man pretending to be an owl, and you can hear it. The voice acting in that sense is not it, to be honest. But at the moment, I'm about 40 hours into the game. I think a little bit more. I'm in the final dungeon, and the final dungeon, all the really good things I said about like the previous areas and how beautiful they are. Well, the last area is like very clearly well designed in terms of like how it looks for what they were going for. It doesn't do it for me. I think we go down these like corridors of just like silver spaceship the whole time, and it's just kind of bland. Honestly, it's just a lot of like going down these hallways and fighting creatures, and there's not too much to look at, and there's not that much to explore, which is a bit of a shame, but I'm getting through it. I'm almost there, I think. Unless there's some big plot twist. But I think we've done all the plot twists. I swear, if there's another weird plot twist after this, because the story's weird now, where I am, It definitely didn't take the turn I was expecting it to take, but I'm really enjoying the game. If I could just stop getting stuck with the leveling up system, I think it would be a lot better. But for all we know, again, that could just be me. I could just be bad at games. I am just a woman. So the next game on my list is Shin Megami Tensei 5. Again, similar to Tales of series, this is my first real experience with a Shin Megami Tensei game.
Shin Megami Tensei 5 feels like the edgier, less sociable younger brother of Persona 5.
And again, like the Tales of Arise game, I'm really enjoying this one as well. Though I'm just bad at games again. I don't want the whole theme of this video to be that I'm bad at games, but that really seems to be the case. I know that the Shin Megami Tensei games are hard, though I've heard this one's like easier than the other ones, but we won't get into that. Because then that just makes me look really bad. But I just keep getting stuck at bosses, and I think I'm just in a point where like I don't really want to deal with really hard games at the moment, which is why we have the next game on this list. But I'm really enjoying it. Like, despite the fact that I'm like stuck at the moment, and I am like really stuck at the moment. I'm about 30 to 35-ish hours in, I think. Fantastic game. I'm personally a really big fan of the Persona series, so honestly it's a crime that I haven't played a Shin Megami Tensei game. Though, in my defense, I've tried, and they didn't let me buy it because at the time I was under 17, and my mom wouldn't buy it for me. So it was not my fault. But yeah, an absolute crime that I haven't played a game yet I've talked so much about Persona. Like, you should just arrest me, honestly. Oh my god. I was just trying to make a joke. My joke was, you'll never take me alive. I just need an excuse to show a knife in this video. Holy fuck, I almost threw a kimchi across the room. I'll put that back gently. Holy Jesus Christ. Yeah, so Shin Megami Tensei, in case you didn't know, similar to Persona in the sense that it's a turn-based RPG where you fight demons, I guess, and you're usually in a party of 4, unless in this case you decide not to be. You can just like disband your party and just be like 2 or even 1 guy. Though for the most part you're gonna be playing it as 4 characters, like yourself and then your demons. And if you're playing by yourself, then oh my god, good luck, because this game is not easy compared to most of the turn-based RPGs that I think are out there. Any enemy that you come across can kill you, like very easily. They just like run up to you and they'll say something like, give me all your fucking money and we won't have any problems. And you'll say, no, I'm gonna fight you. And then they kill you. And then you go back like 30 hours and save not 30 hours, 30 minutes and save progress. But the game looks absolutely great on Switch. There are a lot of frame rate drops, which is a shame considering it's a Switch exclusive and this game was made for the Switch. Like, you'd think they would have figured something out there a little bit, but it's almost like this game is like too good for Switch. Not to say that the Switch doesn't deserve it, but if they're gonna make it exclusive for the Switch, you might as well make it run properly, right? But apart from that, visually the game is stunning. The soundtrack, I haven't talked about any of the soundtracks for this game. What's wrong with me for these games? But like all the soundtracks so far are absolute bangers. Like I just listen to them. But especially the Shin Megami Tensei 5 soundtrack, that one's my favorite. It's kind of like, I love like the rock they use. I don't know. It just sounds so good. This isn't a music. I'm not talking about music right now. I'm not reviewing music. I'm barely reviewing games. So like, I think I'm gonna save things I have to say about soundtracks for another video because I do listen to a lot of video game music. But yeah, the game sounds fantastic. It looks fantastic. It runs mostly well, and the gameplay is phenomenal. But I keep getting stuck. So I think the reason I like Shin Megami Tensei 5 so much, and the reason I also love the Persona series so much, is that while I do enjoy turn-based combat, I think that turn-based combat, when it's just like one character, Pokemon, I think the strategies there get a little bit stale for me. A lot of the time I can get through the games by just like only attacking in games like Pokemon, where I feel like the Pokemon fans are gonna come after me now. Please don't. I know that there's a lot of stuff to Pokemon. This is just my experience for Pokemon fans. I'm not afraid. But yeah, I feel like compared to Pokemon games where you have usually one Pokemon, I think the majority of the games are like you have one Pokemon out and you're fighting one Pokemon. I feel like for the most part you have a type advantage. You do an attack, you're probably gonna win. Like, I know it gets a little bit deeper than that, but I'm not gonna argue Pokemon strategy right now. Well, if you want, argue with me in the comments. I'll just delete it. It's so stupid. But having 4 characters out on the field really gives you opportunities to like strategize really well. So for example, you'll have one character that's doing the majority of the attacks. They have moves that the other demons are weak to. You want to make sure that like you have other characters that are to support, to heal, to up defense, to up attack, to lower the defense of like the other enemy. Whereas I feel for a lot of other games you can't really get that. At least, again, I'm just thinking of Pokemon right now. I can't think of anything else. Maybe it's because of there being a mostly Pokemon shelf next to me. But I love how much strategy can be implemented because you have 4 separate characters that you can control. And it definitely adds to the difficulty of the game because the game damn well knows that you have 4 characters and that you're fighting just one dude a lot of the time. But yeah, story-wise, I was gonna say pretty straightforward, but it's not that straightforward. You play as just a schoolboy, I guess, that falls into demon-ridden Tokyo. Not gonna give too many spoilers because I don't want to ruin the story. And you just have to go through it and kill demons, essentially, to keep like your schoolmates, school pals safe. And along the way, like, you come across some pretty interesting characters. I don't remember their names, but there's the snake lady and the dude with the hat. I love them. Those are solid characters. I don't even know anything about them yet. Snake lady, exquisite design. Put her here. Exquisite. Beautiful. I love her. Her in her snake form especially, I want a figure of that. She is so cool. And then hat guy, guy with the hat, he's really cool too. Again, know nothing about them. I just like that they show up, they fight you, they try to kill you, and then they question your morality, and then you question your morality because you're like, why am I even fighting demons? What's the point? And then they're like, yeah, you think about that. And then they just leave and then come back later to kick your ass. Oh yeah, additionally, I do really like the demon fusion mechanics. I like that a lot in Persona. I think I like it a little bit more in Shin Megami Tensei 5, actually, just because there's so much more to like fusing your demons, where in Persona 5 you can carry like so many demons, and then you also have like your teammates at all times. So for the most part, like any element that you need, you're gonna have because of your teammates. Whereas in this case, you have to pay to have more demons. And that gets really difficult. Like, they definitely limit how strong you can be by like having it be so that you have to like pay for things, and you have to make sure you use, like, they're called glory points. You have to make sure you use your glory points really well, otherwise you could be completely screwed. But you really have to like personalize the demons that you make depending on which enemy you're about to be fighting, which boss, because otherwise, again, completely screwed. Which is very different from Persona. Persona in that sense is very easy because, again, you have every element that you could need. And then Shin Megami Tensei is like, oh, you don't still have that demon from like the beginning of the game? Well, that's gonna cost you $10,000. You know what? Side note about the demons in the game. Why are they the hardest things to catch? Like, again, in Persona, they'll just be like, oh, wah, no, please don't kill me. I'll join you if you don't kill me. In this game, you'll be like, hey, can you join me? And they'll be like, give me all your health. And you're like, okay, here's all my health. And then they're like, okay, give me all your money. And you're like, here's all my money, and then like give me this really rare item, and then you give them the rare item, and then they're like, pussy, and then leave. And they leave with all your health and all your money. Great game, I recommend it. Fuck, that was the loudest clap. Oh my god, I scared myself. Alright, and the last game on our list today is fucking Kirby. It's fucking Kirby. He's so fucking cute. So yeah, that's the game I've been playing as I try to like chill out from my other games, which have all been very difficult for me. And I've been playing this game with my boyfriend. So we've been playing it co-op. I'm Kirby and then he plays as Bandanity, and it has been just the best time. The game is so cute. The game is so pure. It's Kirby, man. Like, oh my god. Honestly, like, this game gets, like, a perfect score for me just for the fact that their feet go tap, 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 as you walk. Like, exquisite. So good. Level design, really great. So the game is very linear, but there's a lot of things that you can collect with each level. Things being Waddle Dees for the most part, because you're going around saving them. And my boyfriend and I have been playing on wild mode, which is supposed to be the hard mode, I guess, and it's still a really easy game. It gets a little bit more difficult near the end of the game. Like, we're in the last area now, literally about to fight, like, the final boss. And there's, like, a couple areas here that are, like, pretty difficult to get through. But, like, nothing... I wouldn't say pretty difficult. Just, like, slightly more difficult to get through, but, like, it's nothing too crazy. But the game has been really great. I love all the power-ups that they've included, and I love the fact that you can evolve them now. Like, that just seems like such a natural progression for the game. Dragon Kirby? So good. What was the other one? Deep Sleep Kirby. He just straight up pulls a bed out of nowhere and takes a nap in the middle of the field. Exquisite. The game also looks fantastic. Like, for how simplistic the design of Kirby is, and how simplistic that you'd think that the, like, world would look. Like, they're nothing too crazy. Like, you're going through these, like, water areas, and then you're going through, like, a jungle area, and then going through a desert area. But the environments and the details just look so good and so crisp, and everything runs so smoothly. It's honestly probably one of the best looking games on the Switch, just in terms of, like, what they were going for. I'd say, like, the graphics are similar to that of, like, Luigi's Mansion 3 in terms of, like, oh yeah, it's a cartoon, but look at the fucking threads on his hat. Holy shit, how did they even get that many threads there? I'd say that my only issue with the game, though, is when you play in co-op, whoever's playing as Bandana D really gets, like, screwed over a little bit. Like, you're playing as Bandana D. He is obviously the hotter character in this case, but that doesn't come without a price. Like, hotness comes with a price, obviously. And that price is just that Bandana D has, like, a lot less to do. Like, as far as I can tell, there's no upgrades for him at any point in the game, though I swear he gets, like, stronger near the end of the game. I was talking about this with someone. We have a theory that the stronger Kirby gets, like, whatever power-up he has that makes him stronger, Bandana D kind of, like, matches that power, but, like, it's just the theory. But yeah, so there's no upgrades for him. They don't get to, like, obviously absorb any powers because they're not Kirby. All the mouthful modes, which, by the way, the mouthful modes are exquisite. Car Kirby, like, I don't, like, whenever I see a car and I know that I'm about to be Car Kirby, like, my heart rate goes up, like, 40 beats per minute. Like, I am ready. But I just feel bad because every time that I'm playing as Kirby, I'm having such a great time and I'm zooming around as Car Kirby. My boyfriend is just kind of, like, sat on the side just watching. I do kind of wish they had given the option to have, like, a second Kirby play as you as co-op, like, Blue Kirby or whatever. Just that way, like, it could be a little bit more even. But, I mean, Bandana D is still really cool. And he's, again, the best character in Kirby. I'd say, like, the absolute biggest issue with being Waddle Dee, though, is that the camera only follows Kirby. So the whole world is centered around Kirby, because Kirby is the world. But yeah, if Waddle Dee wants to check out something way on the right and Kirby doesn't want to, too fucking bad, you're staying with Kirby. Bandana D doesn't get to do anything without Kirby, which obviously when I'm playing with my boyfriend I want to have fun too, so if he's like, oh, I want to check this out, and I'm not paying attention, he might not go. But like, I have to think like, oh, I want to make sure that like I'm not running too fast kind of thing. Like, oh, my boyfriend's fighting a monster over there, I gotta catch up and like can't look at this flower anymore on the ground. I have to go like help out my boyfriend with the camera because he can't see anything right now. But apart from that, like, the game has been just such a joy. It makes me so happy. It's such a cute game. I'm not even like a really big fan of Kirby games, honestly. Like, I've played a few here and there, but I wouldn't call myself like a Kirby game fan. I'm more someone that likes Kirby as like a character because he's fucking cute. But this game's been really good. I'm really excited to see what they do with Kirby in the future. The transition from 2D to 3D was like perfect, honestly. Oh yeah, side note, I lied. I lied to you guys. I'm a fucking liar. I said no figures in this video, but I got the Kirby amiibos and I want to open them. So I figured I'd do it on camera, so I lied to you guys about no figures. I'm just a liar. I'm not even in a basement. Who do I start with? I'm gonna start with King DDD, I think. We'll leave Kirby to last, which, by the way, because I live in Canada, so our packaging here also has French on it, and this is like the Super Smash Bros. DDD. I learned that his name in French is Roi Dadidou. Dadidou. Okay. Yeah, so I'm gonna open these. I do have amiibos that I don't open. I'm one of those people. But I think... Oh, it's hard, actually. It's always so... No, I want to open them. Do I want to open them? I'm an adult. I'm an adult. And I'm sitting here being like, oh, do I open my toys or do I keep them sealed in the box so I don't use them? Fuck, it's just... The packaging for them is so nice. If I don't open them, my boyfriend's gonna make fun of me. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I'm just gonna... It hurts. Fuck, where's that knife? Oh, there it is. Ah, see? The knife is useful. We do get a knife in this video. Oh yeah, cut towards you. See, it always hurts to open them, but once I open them, I'm always like, oh yeah, that's nice. Oh wow. Yeah, that's a nice DDD. I love amiibos. Honestly, you get like a pretty well designed and like detailed figure for like 20-ish Canadian dollars. And their quality has only gone up over time. All right, Meta Knight. Oh yeah, that's hot. That's cute. That's fire. Oh yeah. I love amiibos. I don't even know what these do in the game. I just get them to have them as like little figures. I like figures, in case you didn't know. Honestly, I think the Kirby one's the weakest looking one. Kind of has like a... I mean, he's round, right? So you shouldn't really see much on him, but he kind of has like a little bit of a seam on the top of his head. So that kind of sucks, but otherwise... Oh god, I got him dirty. There we go. Otherwise, he's really cute. Obviously, it's Kirby. Again, I don't know what these do. Maybe I'll Google that. Or maybe I won't. So that's it from me today. That's all the games that I'm playing at the moment. Hopefully, I will be done them soon. Because at the moment, I haven't finished any games in 2022 yet, which is really embarrassing. But I hope you guys enjoyed. The video is definitely different from what I normally do, you know, with my regular unboxings and stuff, but I do want to try doing videos like this a little bit more often. But it was really hard, honestly. Do you guys hear that construction? It's really annoying. It's like really hard filming this video because of how different it was, but I hope it came out okay, at least. Because hopefully I want to make more videos like this in the future where I just like sit here and talk about things that I like and like games that I'm playing or like manga that I'm reading or something like that. Yeah, I'm not gonna have boxes to unbox every single time, obviously. It's a lot of money. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video, even though it was so different from what I've normally been doing, and please let me know if there's anything that you want to see me do in the future that might be similar to like this or just completely different even. So yeah, please let me know down in the comments what you guys are playing at the moment. I'd love to see what other people are playing. And I'll see you guys next time. Bye bye!